All right, welcome back, and now we're going to take a little look at Tropical Storm Don, and let's bring you to some of the maps, and we have Joe Harrison standing by, and he's going to talk a little bit about what happened in Baton Rouge and some of the many needs that we have in and around the state of Louisiana. All right, Tropical Storm Don, there you see it, currently position 22.2 north, 87.0 west. The wind's 40 miles per hour with gusts up to 50. Movement, and this is important, which is good for us, west-northwest at 12 miles per hour. It's 755 miles east-southeast of Corpus Christi, Texas. There is a cone. You've seen that many times on all the networks and on HTV. At the cone of probability, they take all the models, they put them together, and then they take the middle of that, and there's the middle of the cone, and then extend it to the east and west are parameters that give you the strike capability. Now keep in mind, when they do a cone, in the last few years, 82% of storms go inside of that cone. So that's pretty good. So that means a lot of people are modeling and doing their homework. So if that is the case, then we look pretty good, but we are warning you and just telling you, keep your eye open because this thing could change. Now, they do have one model taking this into western Louisiana, but of course they have a lot of other models that take it further west. So once again, we will be vigilant over here at HTV and keep an eye on this thing. Let's move along. There you see the actual radar picture of this big old mess. That's a satellite shot, and it's just a glob. It's a tropical storm, and we're in that season, so we're gonna have to get used to taking a look at these things. And once again, not trying to scare anybody out there or alarm anybody, but we got to keep an eye on it. You know the game plan. You've been through this before, and we are certainly gonna bring you through it right here on HTV. All right, there you see it. There you see all the slide. If that thing starts to change a little bit and starts to move in our direction, trust me, we will be there and we will let you know. All right, let's turn our attention now to Joe Harrison, State Representative, once again, right here in the state of Louisiana. Joe, welcome back. We appreciate having you on again.
Thank you, Martin. I enjoy being on the show.
All right, we're going to talk a little about the session, what took place, and I like it because you come in there and you give me just a synopsis of everything that went on and your spiel on it. What would you think that was the major thing that happened, and take us through your presentation if you don't mind.
I think in light of our district, and that's what we're concerned with, our delegation is very concerned with what happens in our district, first and foremost. But redistricting, a disaster. I can't say any more than what happened in the situation that we were dealt with. The one thing about the state redistricting at state and the House districts, we were forced because of the growth of our population, which we had look at as a good thing, with the ability for more people to come in because we have the lowest unemployment rate in the state of Louisiana. And that is the issue that we pounded every day during redistricting, that if you're going to start a plan, any plan that relates to the state, it should be dealt with on the successful areas first, because revenue is what drives the state, it drives our businesses, it drives our very family units. And unfortunately, that wasn't taken into account. We lost on the congressional, the third congressional seat was divided. Nothing against those individuals who are now representing us. Congressman Scalise, who is an excellent congressman. He worked very hard as a representative and now has demonstrated his ability as a House member in Washington. And then Dr. Cassidy, who I know and have served with in the legislature. But the fact is that Terrebonne and LaFourche should have been one district.
Yeah, we have to work with them now because they are.
Yeah, and
they are good people. You're right, but we maybe should have never got to that point.
No, and I don't think that we have, and I won't beat a dead horse at this point, but this is a 10-year process, and that's why it was so important to us. it's unfortunate that the politics that were played during that particular session were such that our area lost. I wrote 7 different plans. I started with the first plan, the coastal plan. And it's funny and ironic that at that time they said the distance was too far. Well, Dr. Fleming has to travel 5 hours to get from one end of his district to the next in North Louisiana. And also,
that's incredible in itself.
It is. It's, you know, and the district to the east side of the state that starts up all the way in Monroe, goes all the way across. You'll see the map to Washington Parish all the way down and to the east. It's the Big L, we call it, which is even a longer travel time.
Wow.
But I guess I lost the idea of where compact districts to do what's needed for the communities they represent, and it's going to be very difficult for them to represent those communities. They're very diverse.
Was that the most disheartening thing, Joe? Because I talked to you many times along with other legislators while it was going on, and it changed. It was like a football game.
It was.
Somebody scores, somebody ties the game. Somebody scores, somebody's, you know, momentum shifts here and there, and every day it was a changing, it was a moving target, so to speak. But the politics of it all, did we get to another nasty level in the state of Louisiana with this one?
I think every time we go through this 10-year process of redistricting, it's a battle. But I look back and I think that history repeats itself sometimes. But in this case, it was politics at its worst. You know, when North Louisiana has probably the worst economy of our whole state, it does have the worst economy and the sparsest population of any part of the state. And they were allowed to keep 2 congressmen versus our area, which is completely the opposite. We are the success, we are the revenue to the state of Louisiana, and we were neglected when we were told first time we had the meeting here in Houma,
Right.
You will be at the top of the list, you're the first priority. It's amazing how that changes when they get back into their little cocoon up there in Baton Rouge and retract all those statements.
When it was all said and done, and I know people try to be professional, I know you do, and I know everybody around here, when you got to look at the other people and you got to get back to work, you either bury the hatchet or you never get anything done. But it has to be a little hard at times, doesn't it?
It's a little hard to swallow. Yeah, you're dealing with some of the very people. Another ironic move, one of the gentlemen who wrote the bill on the House side is running for Speaker of the House. And a guy who is the guy at the last day who pulled another 60,000 people out of our district for the congressional district is running for the president of the Senate. So
that's interesting.
Those things I will remember, and I pointed it out to both of those individuals. Sometimes things come back to haunt you, and it's unfortunate. I'm not going to hold a grudge, but I don't think that in light of what they did during that period of time that I can't see leadership in that area.
What have you done for me lately?
That's it.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Joe's going to take us on some more of his thoughts about the session, and then we'll open up some phone lines and let you call in 879-1231. It's all next on Bayou Time.